for her birthday, I took my wife to an orchard where we stood watching trees for half an hour. Not the Apple Watch she wanted, apparently. But welcome to Shave&Butcher for another shave. And it's going to be a non-American shave today. We're shaving with good old Proraso Red. And this is the cream. It's a sandalwood scented cream. There is a hard soap as well, although it's rather soft. A scent I wasn't big on to start with, but it's grown on me. So we're doing that today. And the brush that will do the honors is a board brush. I forget the knot. I'm sorry, Grey Dog. This is from Grey Dog. Very nice. So we're doing that. I have a band-aid here. This is, I was shaving the head with the Shave&, with new feather, stainless steel, something, blades in them, really sharp. So I cut a mold. I usually don't, and I usually don't have to be careful, but that was a bit too much. So hence the band-aid. Hopefully no band-aids on the face today. It's the Shave&Butcher. Isn't that a lovely razor? Shave&Butcher the Celebrated. We'll do the honors today. I did get, speaking of Shave&Butcher, I got a fantastic mail call the other day from, well, via Matti, but from Chris Bailey. I am CDB. He sent me a Shave&Butcher. And the light in here is so poor that I filmed outside for a few seconds. So I'll show you in daylight. This is what it looks like. Isn't she a beauty? I love the stamps on the on the blade. Sorry, what are we doing? We're off to a brilliant start. I'm going to do a rather wet brush. Try that out. That worked fine on the head, and about that much. So it's going to be drippy and watery. As you know, my wife, maybe that's too wet actually. Squeeze a bit out. My wife likes that. She said it's lovely that you leave little love marks, so I see where you've been. God, too wet, sorry. Squeezing that out. That worked fine on the head, but now it's dripping too much. Can you see how wet that is? You know, does that remind you of anything you've seen lately? So that's a perfect lather. Would have been a perfect lather like last week. We're hopefully going to do a bit better this week. It's a very warm scent. It's a bit of an autumn scent. I've been using some autumn scents, kind of. Yesterday I used Pomona from Southern Witchcraft. I love the scent of that, so should have used that today. Again, but it's one of those days where it's still summer, but it feels like autumn. It's not cold, but it's rainy. It's a bit of thunder and lightning, and it's just an autumny feeling to the day, which is suitable today because I know the hockey just ended, the Stanley Cup just a few weeks ago. But today is the first practice game with my Swedish team, Frölunda. So we're going to see them. And they traditionally play in the closest town to here, Kungsbacka, for their first practice game of the summer. And sometimes it's like 28 degrees and everybody's in shorts, and it's like being a hockey fan in Las Vegas or Phoenix or something. But today it will be proper pants, maybe even a sweater, and more of a hockey vibe really. Apart from the rain, maybe. Sorry, got soap in the mouth. Taste is okay. Tastes like clay. So Proraso, there are 4 kinds. I think the traditional ones are are the red, the white, and the green, just like the Italian flag. But then there are a few variants. This is yellow one, where I haven't tried. I have the other three. So, wonder what that's like. Is that wet enough? Probably. I haven't lathered this cream many times. It's maybe the third time. Well, it looks peaky. I'll just throw more water in there because there's so much. The amount of lather I showed you, a bit too much. So yeah, hockey, and it's going to be fun. First flavor. The hockey is going to be pretty poor. The quality is always poor because they haven't practiced on ice. They've done the running and the gym work, and you know, just really hard pre-season. So everybody's legs are going to be heavy and tired, and you know, the game, how you pass the puck, etc., is going to be pretty awful. But it's, you know, it's fun to see the guys, see some of the new players. Will be fun. Can barely remember who they are. My son knows. He's already made a you know, mock table and for the standings at the end and that sort of thing. So should be good. Here we go. So I've been listening a lot to music in the last few days, so I have a question. And my question is, what are your 3 favorite music albums? 3 favorite albums. Doesn't have to be the best ever made and that sort of thing. Just your 3 favorite ones, if you're interested in music. I'll go first. Cliffhanger. And it's so hard to choose. It really is. Wow, I don't know if you can hear the rain. I'll go first. And right now it's these ones. At least 2 of them have been on the list for a very long time, and then, you know, it changes a bit, but typically most of my favorites are pretty old stuff. So these are 70s and 80s. I'm kind of stuck in the 80s music wise and 90s. So I'm thinking, should I try and do 1, 2, 3? No, I won't. Yeah, okay, I will. Just have to think. Okay, third most favorite. You can see it's a bit drier than usual. It doesn't come off the razor. Still moisturized enough, but yeah. Keep put more water in. Maybe I will for pass number 2, possibly. So, what did I say? Should I do 1, 2, 3? Yeah, okay. Let's do 1, 2, 3. So number 3, my third most favorite music album is the American group Suicide, and their first album, which is also called Suicide. And it's not altogether enjoyable to listen to it. There's one song called Frankie Teardrops, which sometimes I have to turn it off because it's just too much. too dark, too heavy, both musically and lyrically. And some tunes are just do rockabilly with electronic sounds, and it's just a fun album with no bad songs, and extremely influential for a lot of the music that I listened to in the 80s. This album is from 1977. So Suicide is not for everyone, and they never really became very famous, but they are an important band and they're very influential, and that album is anything from terror to laughs. Some of the lyrics are kind of funny, to just wow, the beats, the rhythms, really cool. Suicide by Suicide is number 3. Number 2 on the list is a record by an Australian band, and I don't know what year, but I'd say mid 80s or something. Is it 90s? No, second half 80s, I'm guessing. The band is called the Triffids, like the film, and the album is Calenture. And it's one of those, very different from Suicide. It's very melodical. They became a bit more known and more famous, and they had a few hits. I don't know if you categorize them as underground. Probably not. Beautiful music. Many of their albums are, but this is my favorite. Calenture with the Triffids. One of my favorite singing voices of, what's his name? McCullough, I think. I've never seen them live, and I've never seen Suicide live either. And I can't anymore, because the singer and the lyrics writer of Suicide is dead. Triffids, I don't know if they tour anymore. I haven't seen them in a long while on any lists. But that's number 2. Number 1, and I really think, hang on, Alan Block. Number 1 is with a British band called The Cure. They still tour. They've been on a constant tour since 79 or something. And the only constant in that group is the singer, who also makes all the music, Robert Smith. Fantastic band, seen them live many times. One of those groups that, even if they've been touring, making records, being very active since, call it 1979, they love playing live so much they never want to get off stage. So at the end, you kind of need to sit down and rehydrate. But it's a brilliant band, and the album, there are many good ones. Best album, and the best album in the world ever made, in my opinion, is Disintegration. Yes, also second half of the 80s. Fantastic. Not a weak song, not a weak verse on that album. Absolutely beautiful. One of the best first minutes of any music album as well. Just fantastic. So those are my top 3. What are yours? Humor me, humor us. It's fun making lists, isn't it? And best albums, best songs, best bands is a typical list thing, isn't it? Shaky hand today. Not the best racer for shaky hand day. But we're doing okay. We're doing okay. There we go. Yes, I have, a few, it's fun. Take a bit of time. It doesn't have to be correct, and you can change your mind afterwards. And again, it doesn't have to be the highest quality albums or anything like that. I went through Rolling Stones top 500 albums, which I don't know when they made that. And it's a good mix of everything. I mean, it's like every album Beatles ever made is on top 50 almost. So, you know, if you don't like Beatles, if there is such a person, you're going to think the list is incorrect. But a few of those were on. Suicide was on, and I think Disintegration as well, not the Triffids. Oh, yeah, I'm on the second pass. I made a short list, so the ones who didn't make it were 2 albums by the Joy Division, Closer and Unknown Pleasures, 2 albums by the Velvet Underground, White Light, White Heat, and that Banana album where Nico was on. White Stripes' Elephant album, Nick Cave's The Boatman's Call, Jesus and the Mary Chain's Darklands, The Smiths' Strange Ways, Here We Come, Smashing Pumpkins' Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, Sonic Youth's Daydream Nation, Bruce Springsteen's Nebraska, Pixies' Doolittle, Robin's Body Talk, Depeche Mode, Violator, and those were the ones. And I could mention another 20 that I really love. So, well, could be fun if a lot of people comment. And if you know any of the albums I mentioned, feel free. Tell me I'm wrong. All right, that's okay. Music is all about opinion, and beauty is in the ears of the listener. I think this is a good shave. So far so good, and we're done. We're done. Let's see how that went. Let's have a feel. God. Can't believe I cut that mold off. I've done it maybe once before, and I shaved my head thousands of times. Incredible. Such a lovely scent on this soap. I had the hard soap and I gave it away because I didn't like the scent. And I guess it's the same scent as the cream, but now I like it. Not too bad. Good enough. I'm not going to do pickups because I have a feeling that's going to go awfully poorly. And I'll do what I do when I like the scent of the soap and I want to keep it for a while. I'll put on a balm with no scent. So this is Singari Man's Unscented. Is it called? Yeah, it's just called Unscented in the Siggo base with a bit of tallow in it. This one? What's in this one? I should know. Get out. Constanta. Barbadire. Everything's in Italian. I don't know what's in this one. Con olio di sandalo e burro di karité. So it's a non-tallow, I'm gonna guess. I've read off this and guessed before. Why can I never check? Olio di sandalo will be sandalwood oil. E burro di karité is shea butter. I can't remember. Burro would be butter or bowl. I don't know. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know about those music albums. I'll see you soon. Stay healthy and stay sharp.